I saw this video of Ray J begging his baby mama, Princess, to see his son. Now, what allegedly happened was he was caught with 5 strippers. That's the word that's out. None of us was there. We only know what we hear on the internet. But he put a video out where he was begging to see his daughter. Now, no man should ever have to beg to see his child. There are so many females that use these kids as pawns, and they need to stop. I think there should be a law that when females use the kids as a pawn, then all child support bets are off. That man should not be responsible or should be made to pay for a child that he is not able to see and that he is not able to be in that child's life. Her body, her baby. Now, a YouTuber, Willie Williams, that's where I get that from. That's one of his favorite sayings is, her body, her baby. But the sad thing about that is, you have these females that, for whatever reason, decide to use these kids as pawns. And then the father is the one that's blamed for not being in the child's life. We constantly hear so many young people, and even people that are now adults, that complain, that's hurting, that's missing their fathers in their lives. And they say, I don't know who my father is. I didn't grow up with my father. I never knew my father. And men get the blame because it's made to appear that men just walk away from their kids. Men just walk away from their responsibilities. Listen, there are females that's on that post that's saying he shouldn't have cheated. He got what he deserves. He's only wanting to see his child to get back with Princess. This is the mentality of many females out there, primarily the so-called black females. But then when the child goes left, then the father get the blame. The reason why the child is like he is because the father wasn't in the home. The reason why the girl is out there prostituting her body is because the father is not in the home. These deadbeat fathers. And now you have dudes that's begging to see their kids. Now, this week, there's been about 3 or 4 cases where I seen men begging to see their kids. Tyrese, in the past, made a video begging to see his kids. I was just watching a video on Netflix just a couple of days ago. And this white dude cheated on his wife and sent her a text message that he meant for another female. And she decided to leave and take the kids. He was begging and pleading, please don't take the kids. Please don't take my kids. Why are you doing this to me? This has nothing to do with them. They're not a part of this. Why are you putting them involved in this? And so this dude ended up going to the school, looking through the fence, talking to his daughter like some type of creeper just to be able to see her and talk to her. And you can see in the movie where the little girl was like looking straight faced, and of course you have a lot of kids that takes the size of the moms. So now you have this daughter that's ignoring him because he and his mom had a disagreement. So now the children are put in a position where they're forced to take sides. And in most cases, they take the sides of the moms, but in their hearts, They want to be with their dads. Men should never have to beg to see their kids. Now, I'm going to let you listen to Ray J. And then I want you to feedback and tell me what you think. Check this out.
I want to see Melody right now. I can't get in touch with you. I don't give a fuck what people saying online or what you saying. You know I'm calling your phone. I'm sorry. Whatever you want to hear. I want to see my daughter. Don't do that to me. I've been hitting you. You talk to Brandy. You talk to all your friends. You've been hitting people all day, but you ain't hit me. You ain't hit me none of these days to tell me where you at. You disappeared. Where's my daughter? I don't know where you are. You in Vegas, I know that. That's why I'm still here. Whatever you doing out there to try to make me look crazy, you keep doing that. But let me know where my daughter at. Just making sure that you didn't go home yet. Because I know you still out here because your mama coming out here. But you haven't called my phone. The shit's all on the internet, all this shit, this crazy shit. It don't matter. I just want to see Melody. You know you can send me the address and let me come see Melody. I don't give a fuck about the comments or none of that. I haven't seen Melody in a week. You say I ain't hit your phone. I'm not going to let you do that no more. I just want to see my daughter. I don't give a fuck how I look. Where's Melody, princess? I need to see my daughter, please. I love you. I love her. Hopefully we can make it work and work it out. But just don't take Melody and hide with her. That ain't cool. You ain't gave nobody the address to where you at. Nobody knows where you are. Every time somebody asks where you at, you in Vegas, you ignore the question. But yet you act like I'm leaving you stranded. You act like I'm in Vegas and you somewhere else. You here. I know you here. You not at home. And so I'm here waiting with you because I'm thinking we're going to at least get cool so we can go back home together. I don't want to leave you and Melody here, but you're not picking up my call and it's starting to frustrate me. And I'm just starting to go into a zone to where I'm like, I need to see my daughter. I'm for real, man. You was all on my live. I couldn't even see you. I can't see the comments now. But all I know is how I feel. This shit is like some kind of like circus act. Like, man, just please, man. Like, please let me see Melody. I don't care how I look. I want to see my daughter. Every day we get up, she see me. Just let me see her. When all of this stuff was coming up because I felt like it'll work itself out. But since it's prime time, well, let me use this prime time moment to tell Princess to let me see my daughter. I'm a little bit frustrated and I'm a little upset and I'm a little...
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. But you see, no man should have to beg to see his kids, man. You know, it's like females, they do this, and 9 times out of 10, if they don't work things out, she's going to end up taking him to court for child support if she hadn't already done that, because I really don't follow things like this. But if he's not already paying for child support, she now is going to get a hefty paycheck every month, which we know is not going towards that child. But yet she's got the option to hold that child from him. And he's now on the internet begging to see his child. It's not like he did something that would jeopardize the safety and the welfare of that child. He was caught cheating. And you have females that the dude is cheating, and then they use the kids as a pawn because they know that the dude is close to his kids and the kids love him. And that's why I say, look, brothers, men, if you have the opportunity to get custody of your child, get custody of your child, man. It is not worth the headache. And you have dudes out there, man, that get to the point where they say, you know what? To save my own self, my own sanity, to keep my own sanity in check, I'm just going to let her take that money because that's what it's about. Let her take that child support payment and then I'm going on with my life. I don't need the headache. But then you have females that will constantly, even though she's getting child support payments, she is still constantly taking that man back and forth to court for more money. Just greed. Anything to make his life miserable. So it's not even worth having children with these females out here in this day and time. Because you have so many devious females out there that if things don't go their way, they use the kids as a pawn and they use the kids as an ATM machine to get finances from you, especially if you're doing good in life. If you have a pretty nice income coming through, oh, you're going to be a target, man. And dudes have to start wising up, man, to know that in many cases when these females come at you like that, it's not because they want you. It's because of what they can potentially get from you. But again, like I said, no man should ever have to beg to see his kid, man. That should be an automatic thing. And I think laws should be changed. Laws should be changed to say, look, okay, women, if y'all choose, it's your body, your baby, you do what you want. If you choose to abort that child, then you do that. You don't need the father's or the man's consent to do that. But if he decides to walk away, or if you decide to use that child as a pawn, and you keeping him from seeing his child, and he did nothing to endanger the welfare of that child, and he's paying child support, then you know what? All child support bets are off. You're now on your own because you made the conscious choice and decision to keep that child away from him. So there has to be a balance in the family. If you're going to take money from this dude, if this dude is obligated and forced to pay child support, this should also be a balance where he should be obligated and allowed to see his child. That goes hand in hand. If he decides to walk away and not be a father to that child, that don't stop the child support payments. He still have to pay that because he walked away from the child. He still have an option to see that child. But if that female start playing pawns with the kids and you packing the kids up and you walking away and then you lie on the man and say that the man sexually assaulted the child or abused that child just to keep the man away from the child, then he should not be allowed or forced to pay child support. All bets are off. You on your own. You raise that child by yourself and let that child know why the father's not there. Be truthful and let that child know that the father's not there because you didn't get your way. Or because you caught him cheating and you decided to use that child as a pawn to hurt him. Not that he's a bad father. He could be the best father in the world, but he just may have an issue with women. He loves women. Or you may not be taking care of business at home. A man's house is a castle, man, and if he's not happy at home, guess what? He's going to go outside that castle to find happiness. If he's miserable at home, guess what? He's not going to be home that much. He's going to stay away from home. But again, I don't think any man should have to beg to see his child, man, especially if he's being a father and he's taking care of that child. That child wants for nothing. That child has the balance, the love of both parents, and then that female get a string caught up in her butt, and now she want to use the child as a pawn, right? And now not only she's disrupting a family, and she's hurting him, but the person that gets hurt the most is that child, because now that child is like now stressing, because I think a lot of adults don't realize that children stress too. So when you got two parents, two giants towering over this kid, fighting and arguing, and then the mother packs the children up and walks away, and the father begging and pleading, pulling on the child, please don't take my child away. Don't you know that's creating stress in that child? And then that child's school grades will start going down. Child start acting out in school or even acting out at home. And then, or having nightmares. And then the mother's trying to figure out what's wrong with my child. Well, you just use your child as a pawn and you pull that child and you snatch that child away from his father. That's the exact thing that the slave master did to our so-called ancestors. And many females, many black women are taking notes from the slave master's playbook. And now the black female is snatching the child away from the father. The same thing that the slave master did. Dividing the black family. So I don't think any man should have to beg to see his kids. And females need to stop using these kids as pawns. Or the child support bets are off. I guarantee you, if Trump were to, or the lawmakers were to make it a law, say, okay, look, he's obligated to pay child support, but if you take the child away willfully, then child support bets are off. He's not responsible for that child because you took the child out of his life, and there's no balance in that child's life. Most kids that's growing up now without dads in the home are growing up imbalanced, especially in the black community. And that's why we see so much chaos among the youth in the black community, because they're imbalanced. It's not always about a paycheck every week or whenever you get that check. It's not always about that. Children are growing up without balance. They may have the funds coming through, which in many cases, in most cases, the child don't see. And the child really don't benefit. But there's no balance there because the child only knows one side, the family. And that's the mother's side. Know nothing about the father's side. Know nothing about the cousins and the uncles and the nephews and the grandparents on the other side. They're only familiar with the mama side because the mother used them as a pawn and now did the same thing that the slave master did, separating the families. She's doing the same thing, and now the child is growing up imbalanced. So Ray J and Princess, whatever her name is, need to work things out. I just think that females need to stop using these kids as pawns. So feedback, tell me what you think, subscribe, click on the Cash App button in the description box and support the channel. Until next time, I'm fearless.